Yo, 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 what's good, people? It is currently 5 minutes past 8 p.m. UK time. Friday the 5th of April, 2024. Wow, we're in Q4. This is amazing. All right, just give me a sec. I am in the middle of a business dinner right now. Let me just open up this webinar and we'll take this picture. Um, okay, cool. So, welcome to another amazing episode of NFT Fridays. I'm gonna have to pass this over to my co-host and my CEO, Mr. Hard, will be taking over. Today we'll be talking about Web3 terminologies, and you are co-host. So, broski, you cool to take over?
Yeah, man, I got it from here.
All right.
Bless, broski.
Right, I'm gonna off.
Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna upgrade somebody. I'm gonna upgrade some people in the chat as well. So yeah, if you make me full host and then bounce. Oh, I am full host. Oh no, I'm co-host. If you make me full host. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah. Don't know if you heard me. If you make me full host. Boom, perfect. All right, cool. Safe, bro. You can bounce. All right, cool. All right, cool. Yeah, come. All right, cool. So I've now made two of our biggest contributors to Blockchain Sensei in our community at the moment. Watch out for Mark and watch out for Crypto Boss. Some of the things they've done are absolutely priceless. Big shouts, big love to Mark for helping set up the Luma. Everyone's going to start getting weekly newsletters from Blockchain Sensei, thanks to Mark. So big love to Mark for helping us out with that. Crypto Boss, massive loves and props to resharing the YouTube link in the Telegram and in the WhatsApp group for everybody. Massive love, massive props for that. So what we're going to do is before we do anything is, you know how it is, we've got to make sure that we don't get in any trouble whatsoever. So what do we do to make sure that we don't get in any trouble whatsoever? We go to the Blockchain Sensei website and we read out the disclaimer. Now, the reason my camera's not on is because I'm literally just been picked up from a wedding. So I've been at a wedding all day, my partner's best friend's wedding. So I've actually left just to do this call. So that's if that's not dedication, and ninjas in a potential moonshot 50x business deal at the moment. So that is showing our level of dedication. So all our content is for education, information, and entertainment purposes only, and should not be considered as investment advice or recommendation to buy, sell, hold any assets, or place any trades. Please do your own research. Our content is intended and should only be used for informational use. It's very important to do your own analysis before making any investment, which should be based on your own individual circumstances. You should always take independent professional advice from a professional advisor or independently research and verify all and any information you may find on our show that you wish to rely upon. Whether you wish to make an investment decision or otherwise, all investments come with what? Risk.
Great.
Please own what? Research.
Research.
Yes, we love that. So we are not financial advisors. We do not intend to be perceived or received as financial advisors. I don't believe there's any financial advisors on the call. If you are a financial advisor on the call, please speak now or forever hold your peace. That's a lot of people holding their peace. And we can actually direct you to accredited financial advisors if you need it. So if you're unable to mitigate your risk, then please contact us immediately so we can refer you to an accredited advisor. So what we're going to do again is we're going to take this time to kind of just go back a step. Now, why are we going back a step? We're going back a step because just because sometimes it's important to just do the basics with people, because one of the most dangerous things you can do is assume that people know everything, or assume that people are up to your level of understanding. So, and the space moves very fast. So sometimes it's easy to assume, oh yeah, people know that like Solana's a layer one. But in this last week, I've heard multiple people say that Solana is a layer two or a layer three, or say things like, oh yeah, you need a MetaMask wallet to use Solana. So it's made me realize, actually, you know what? People, not everybody is up to scratch on the same level. So let's go back again and do some of the basics for our audience and for our community. So ultimately, though, if you want to brush up, easiest thing to do is to visit our website, which has been amazingly designed by Dominica, and you can just literally press here, free consultation, book below. Super simple. You book in there, and then you will get a session either with myself or with Fuzzy or someone from the Blockchain Sensei team will take your first inquiry. As you know, that's all of our partners and clients, and the university is featured by interviews. I cannot stress enough how important it is for people to watch these videos from wealth masters, because these are some of the smartest people on the planet when it comes to financial literacy. So make sure you go and check those out. So let's get into it. So terminology wise, I want to actually cover some other things that aren't even blockchain based in this call, because there's a few words that have been thrown around in the space, in just the tech space, that I don't think everybody knows what they mean. So one of them that's been thrown around a lot at the moment is the word LLM. So I'll type it in the chat. LLM. Does anybody know? Has anyone heard the term LLM be mentioned, or know what technology it's associated with? Yeah, large language model. That is, yep. So does anyone know what tech it's associated with? Yep, exactly that. It's AI. So this is probably a term that you're going to hear a lot now and going forward. LLM, a large language model, is basically a data set of language and the words that flow from one word to a next word. So it's basically a data set suggesting that, okay, if I was to sing bar bar black, usually the next word is sheep. That's basically what it is. It's a data set saying that after this word, most likely comes this word, and you train them by giving them data to process. So just because one LLM has the data set that it says bar bar black sheep, if that poem isn't inserted into the data set, depending on who creates the data set, that might say bar bar black boy, depending on who made the data set and how much the data set is repeated for the LLM. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. So that's the first one. So that is LLM. You're going to definitely hear that a lot, and I think it's important for people to know that term because it's an important term. Okay, cool. So the next one that I want to go over is a term that again is comes up quite a lot, and that is, we're going to go over to, actually, you know what, I've got an image of this. Let me bring up the image. Uh, oh, well, Dom's asking for the most basic one, which is, again, a good point that we should do. NFT, what does it mean? It's a non-fungible token. What is a non-fungible token? That is, some would say that a non-fungible token is a smart contract. I would probably break it down that NFT is actually a digital receipt. Is a digital receipt, and Ninja likes to break it down as, first of all, you got to understand what the word fungible means. Now, fungible means unique, means one of one, so it means that you can't get it again. So, therefore, sharing everybody. Display mode. Second, guys. There we go. Display mode. Let me know when you can see my screen. Yep. Perfect. You can see that? Yep. Cool. So as we were saying, fungibility is the replaceability. So the ability of a good or asset to be traded with another individual good or assets of the same type. On the contrary, something that is non-fungible, like a piece of art, is a one of a kind. So this is what a NFT is. It is a non-fungible token, and the token is the digital receipt attached to that digital asset transfer. So let's break that down. If I send you a document on email, if there was a receipt for that email, that would technically be a non-fungible token. But that would be a non-fungible token that existed on Google's servers. Now, because the popular NFTs exist on blockchains, which are servers that are split up across multiple computers, this is why they have more importance, because it means that they're more traceable to see who's done what action and proves that this belongs to this person. Now, one of the biggest misconceptions with NFTs people have is that if they own the NFT, it means that they own the item. That's actually incorrect. Majority of the time, you own the receipt that is pointing to the asset transfer, and in some cases, pointing to the asset, and in some cases, it's just pointing to the hyperlink that holds the asset. So the problem with this is a lot of the time, the hyperlink might be there, but the asset attached to the hyperlink might not be. So this is where it gets more technical and more difficult. So this is, if you're ever having a conversation with someone talking about NFTs, we're just giving you a bit more of a deeper insight that most people don't talk about, because that's what we like to do here at Blockchain Sensei. Okay, cool. So next one is something again that is very, very important that we believe our community should definitely be doing. And this is an airdrop. Now, what is an airdrop? Has anyone ever heard of the term airdrop before? Let's see in chat. I believe people probably have. Okay, cool. So what is an airdrop? An airdrop, by the terminology that we've got here, thanks to Storm, is a new NFTs or cryptocurrencies that are automatically sent to your wallet for free. So when they say free, most of the time it's not free. And sometimes they're not even new. Sometimes it's old projects sending value to your device or your wallet as a way of either getting your attention or for rewarding you for doing actions that are related to their project. So one of the easiest ways to get airdrops is to use platforms. So platforms like Tensor, which is an NFT trading platform, if Tensor release a token, it's very likely that they will take a snapshot of all the users that have been using their platform, and then all of those wallet addresses, they will send airdrops to them. So I'm going to show an example of some airdrops. Let me just share my Burner wallet. So I have multiple wallets, and this is my Phantom Burner wallet. So this is the wallet that I let things get connected to. So we can see here, this is my Phantom Burner wallet, right? And the initial amount of value that I actually sent to this wallet is all viewable on chain. But I believe it was just some Solana, some USDC, and then I did a trade and I got some USDT just messing around. Now, all the rest, I think maybe I traded for some bonk, but the 50 URC, the Llama's Finance, the Lorm the Worm, the Cat with the Hat, and Dev with the Hat, and the Lamarck, and the Founder with Abs, and the Lamp Pie, I didn't actually swap for those. They were all sent to me anonymously. So you can see here the power of airdrops is people have the ability to airdrop, to just send random people digital asset value. Now, when you actually amplify this, what this means for the future of marketing and advertising is really powerful and really crazy. And this is one of the things that attracts me to the space the most, is the ability to just airdrop value assets into someone's wallet. That's crazy. Like you got to think, like, what is the power of this? And in fact, some of these. Sorry, say that again. Yeah, as I was saying, some of these you can't actually see the initial value straight away, as you can see at the ones at the bottom. I'd have to go to an exchange that's listing these to see how much they're actually worth. So these bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I actually don't know how much they're worth. So that's the crazy bit about that. Cool. So that's airdrops. Anybody got any questions on airdrops?
No
Yeah,
questions. Just
Mike.
Say that again.
Where do you get the airdrops? How does it work?
So the best way to get airdrops is to actually just use popular platforms. So platforms like Jupiter, that was probably one of the most recent example of an airdrop. People that were using Jupiter, not necessarily like loads, they were just like doing one or two trades here and there. They qualified for the Jupiter airdrop. In fact, I've qualified for the Jupiter airdrop. I need to go and claim it. Or say, for example, the one that I think is most likely to do an airdrop next is Tensor. And all you got to do is connect your wallet to Tensor, do one or two trades, hold one or two wallets, and then that way you probably for the airdrops. But a lot of the time, you can actually find what you've got to do to qualify for an airdrop. Now, anyone that's a Dojo member, guess what Dojo members get? Dojo members get a private list of all the airdrops that we're farming and the airdrops that are possible to gain. Now, there is airdrops that go up to, we've seen airdrops of up to £10,000. We've seen airdrops of £5,000. I've even heard of people receiving airdrops that were worth up to 50k. That's if you include the Bored Apes one. So yeah, it's absolutely crazy what's possible with airdrops. So yeah, that's airdrops. So let's go on to the next one, which is a bridge. Has anyone heard of the term a bridge?
No.
Yes, sir.
Nope.
No.
So a bridge in Web3 is basically the ability to send tokens from one chain to another chain. Now, what it should mean, but it doesn't always mean, again, raising attention to people, that's what we like to do, is it should mean that if you're doing a bridge from Bitcoin over to Ethereum or from Ethereum over to Solana, it should mean that it burns or destroys the assets on the original chain. So what does that mean again? If I'm sending $100 worth of Pingu token from Ethereum and I'm putting it onto the Pingu network on Solana, it should delete and destroy the 100 Pingu on Ethereum. And then I would now receive my 100 Pingu on Solana. So it's the same asset value, but it's just now in a different home, different address. Think of it like moving house, but the previous house gets destroyed. That's what it should be. But what happens is they don't actually always destroy. So what happens sometimes is you are doing a bridge, but what the platform's doing is they are keeping the assets on one side and then charging you a fee on the other side. So they end up with all of your tokens on the one side, and then they end up with a portion of your tokens on the other side. So yeah, that's something to look out for there. So yeah. So what I want to do is, because again, today's a bit of a short episode, I just wanted to go to questions. Does anybody have any questions on any terminology they really want to ask a question about?
Mr. Hardy.
Yeah.
I didn't have a question, but with NFTs, if you don't have the metadata, you just have like a pixel picture, basically.
Yeah, so it's very difficult for absolute beginner to be able to check if they've got the metadata. And even if they have the metadata, it's very difficult to check that the metadata is actually the correct metadata for the asset that they're saying that you have. Because at the end of the day, think of it like a cake, right? What's happening is with an NFT is you're trading. What you're seeing is the outside. You're not actually looking inside the cake to see if the cake's there and if it's the right cake. That's the best way of putting it. So a lot of the time, people are moving these PFPs around, but they haven't got the cake. And the only way to know if you've got the cake is if you're a dev or a chef to be able to go, oh yeah, let me look at this cake. Let me put my finger in it. Let me taste it. Oh yes, this is actually the right ingredient. This cake actually does have cinnamon in it, because most people can't read code. So there's like 99% of people that are trading these projects can't tell if the asset is actually there, because in this case, asset value is actually assigned to code. It's not assigned to like a thing. Like the thing is a representation layered over the top of the code. Does that make sense?
Nah, I'm still a bit confused on that one, to be honest.
Still confused. Okay, let me go again. All right, cool. So let's say, for example, has anyone ever gone to a supermarket and bought a birthday cake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have you ever noticed that a lot of the cakes are very generic and they're basically the same? It's just in a different box.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yep. But imagine sometimes when you get these cakes, you just trust the shop that the cake that is on the picture of the box is inside that box. It's going to look exactly like what's on the box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then sometimes in rare cases, you will open up the box and the cake doesn't look like the cake that was on the outside. Does that make sense?
Okay.
That is exactly what can happen with NFTs. Like, you're not buying, people think that they're buying that because they've got the PFP, that they've got the asset that goes with it. But you don't, not all the time. If you haven't found a way to peek inside the box, or if the box isn't clear, which most people don't know how to do, how do you know that you actually got the code that is there for that project? Does that make sense a bit more now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
But when the NFT is created, I mean, how is it verified that that's the actual
code
one that you have? Yeah.
So that's the thing. So unless it's coming from official channels, it's very hard. So unless it's come from that official, so let's say for example Bored Apes, unless you've got yours from an official Bored Ape site on launch day, it's very difficult. And it's then you trusting the Bored Ape company that they're actually saying what's in the cake or what's in your purchase is actually there. So it's about trust of a platform that they're going to actually, that the code that they're saying is there is actually there.
Right.
So it's very, yeah, it's quite a techie one, but a lot of people, there's not really much market or press around this, but it is something that, yeah.
So if you come to sell that NFT, then how can anyone verify that that's actually the NFT original?
If you're a developer, if you're a top developer, you can verify it.
Okay.
So that's how, and I think that's one of the downfalls of this space is like a lot of the trust and the final end product is only developers that can prove it and see it.
Right.
So with on-chain transactions with tokens, it's a little bit easier because you can use network scanners to go, oh, okay, yeah, this has gone from here to there. With the NFTs, you have to bear in mind you're not trading the asset in the majority of the time. Unlike with cryptocurrency, you're trading the asset. So you can see on things like ETHScan or SolScan, the asset has moved and it's in this wallet. With an NFT, you're just looking at a receipt. So in most cases, so you're not actually looking at the asset in all cases.
Okay.
And in life, you can have a receipt, but it doesn't mean you still got the item. Do you get what I mean? Like someone can have a receipt for a Mercedes, it doesn't mean they still have it.
Yeah.
Someone can have a receipt for a Mercedes, but the engine might have been taken out.
Yeah, but it's still the Mercedes that they bought, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but they might have been missold one.
Right.
But they would never know until they get it. But what's happening in this space is because there's so many people that don't understand the technical side, they can be just moving things around, thinking that they own things when they don't.
Right. Okay.
So that's, yeah, nobody ever talks about this because you can imagine why would anybody ever talk about this?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Mm.
so that's one side. But yeah, let's go to
I
another
suppose one of the
question.
pitfalls in it, like, you know, one of the things you have to really be very aware of in it when you're getting into this space. You know, it's not just about learning the technical aspects of how everything works and, you know, how to trade and stuff. It's things like this as well.
Yeah, and this is what we pride ourselves in doing at Blockchain Sensei, is not just talking about the good stuff, but talking about the losses, talking about the horror shows, talking about what what can go wrong, because a lot of people don't. It's just about, oh, how quickly can we take your money, whereas we want to be like, nah, like if you to the first part of wealth is protecting your wealth. Like that's the first step. It isn't to make it; it's to protect what you've got, grow what you've got, then make some more on top. That's how it works. So yeah, but yeah, let's go to the next question. Crypto Boss, I think you had a question.
No, that was the NFT thing that I had to say with the metadata.
Okay, cool. Let's see who else we've got in the room, because I believe we've got some news people. We've got Vic. Hi there, Vic. You've been unmuted. Feel free to ask any question. Any questions, Vic? Nope. Okay. So we'll go to next one. Alison. Hi there, Alison. You've been unmuted. If you've got any questions about absolutely anything, it doesn't have to be just NFTs or AI. Could also be crypto. Hi there, Alison.
Michael. Hello. I thought I'd come join you. It's been really, really interesting. Thank you. I really like your style and your pace. Really, really enjoyed that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I think the thing I would kind of a bit of a statement really as well, that just to reinforce, I think however many times you hear these things, it's so good. It's to just hear them again, especially like, I think the metadata one, like however many times I do that or I hit refresh on the metadata, do I really understand it? So it's really helpful just to hear and to remind everyone in the room that the first time they hear you say it, even if it doesn't make sense, even the third or fourth, it's not you. It's just that it's whole new language, isn't it? It's like learning French or even maths. So yeah, no,
100%.
seriously, sorry, not really a question, more a statement.
No worries. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much. Yeah, definitely touching on that. I think a lot of the space, there is a lot of accepting of statements, but not understanding, or a lot of people don't even have the ability to check or validate the truth, which is a kind of dangerous space. Like it's a very dangerous space, like especially when people are starting to put in large amounts of money and large amounts of their wealth. Like if you're putting a large portion of your wealth into these digital assets and you're trusting platforms that they're saying nobody else has access to it, nobody else can move it, how do you actually know? Like it's a big trust situation, and a lot of the times, as we've seen in the past, they don't have anyone to answer to a lot of the time. And this is where, especially in these moments in a bull market, is when it's key to teach about bear market. That is the the key time, because unfortunately, sorry to be the doom and gloom, but what goes up unfortunately does come back down, especially in when money's involved. Because again, I think an area that people forget is if the prices are going up, that means that more people eventually are likely to take profit, which means the prices will come down. So the more it goes up, the more likely bigger players are going to take profit. So that's something to always consider and have in the back of your mind. Hang on a minute, somewhat like profit taking might happen here. And I think the other thing I just want to always remind people in this space is to take profit. Like, it is always better to take some profit from something than nothing. And I think we often see throughout the time we've been doing this, we see a lot of people get into projects, invest in NFTs, cryptos, whatever, even in the stock market, and that asset will increase 50%, 100%, 200%, and people still won't take profit. And you have to bear in mind, where are you getting those kind of returns? Normally, you're not. People are getting 5%, 10% if they're lucky, but yet there's this weird ego situation that happens with us where we're like, oh no, I'll hang on for a little bit longer. And it's like, well, where like, where was you getting that before? Your house isn't going up by 400% in a year. Like, so, and if your house went up by 200% in a year, you'd probably be interested in selling. And it's always having that kind of, this is now not even just on a crypto and NFT kind of space. This is on a mental space. Like, you've got to always have a mindset of abundance. Look, yes, you may exit a part of a project, not fully. We believe in keeping dust. What we mean by keeping dust is keeping 10 to 20% of whatever you've invested in there, just because you never know what can happen 3-4 years later down the line with a project. But yeah, like, just taking profit is better than taking a loss. That's that's the thing. Is I always see people, and you have to also bear in mind, like, nothing is real. You haven't, that money isn't yours, that value isn't yours until you've sold. So you can be watching it go up on the screen to from £100 to £1,000, £1,000 to £10,000, but it's not really your £10,000 until you've taken profit. And it's the same thing with a loss. Like, if something is down and you've invested £100 and now it's down to 20, or you've invested £10,000 and it's down to £20, and you're like, oh my god, that was a terrible loss. It's not a loss until you've pressed sell. So it's about understanding, actualizing your losses is a very dangerous thing. And that is where I kind of wanted to raise Solana, because Solana is an amazing example of this. There was loads of people that had invested in Solana 2 years ago. And then obviously whatever happened, and the token price dropped dramatically, and people sold at a lower price than where they got in initially. And therefore, because they actually pressed sell and they didn't stick in for the long term because they didn't understand the technology, because they weren't actually learning, they now made that loss actualized. So that's now actually a loss. Whereas what's happened over time, Solana has now gone back up, and it's now almost back at the same prices, all-time highs that it was before. And if it then goes past those all-time highs, like what we've seen with Bitcoin, it then means every single person that is holding that asset is in profit. And this is the key thing to remember with this space. Yes, it moves fast, but the basic concept of investing is long-term. And you see it time and time and time again. The people that are the wealthiest in this space are people that say, oh yeah, I invested in 2012 and I forgot about it. Oh yeah, I invested in 2014, 17 and I forgot about it. And I think people forget this, that you're still investing, and investing is a time game. So yeah, I thought I'd just go on to a bit of mindset stuff there with people, just some of the basics. I just wanted to really make this session about some of those basics. So we'll go around again for final questions. Debem, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I've got a question. like just with the airdrop, I'm still trying to get my head around the airdrop stuff. Like when you've like won airdrops, like what's the maximum amount of time you have to claim? I know because do they expire sometimes?
Yeah, they expire sometimes. So again, that's totally unique per project. So some it could be 24 hours, some it could be a year, some it could be 2 years. So that's completely unique to the project. But you want to, if you do qualify for an airdrop, you want to claim it straight away, number one.
Hmm.
You do qualify for an airdrop, again, that mention of keeping the dust, you probably want to keep some of the dust because you don't know where that project could go in future. Yes, take some profit if you feel you need to, because at the end of the day, it's free money if it was an airdrop, unless it was airdrop where you had to do something with a financial transaction. But yeah, that's what I would say. So me personally, what I do with any value that I get in airdrops, that is what I use for super high risky plays. So super high risky things that are about, or super high risky NFT or something that I want to get involved in, that I'm like, oh, I'll do that with something that I got airdrop value with, because then it's like, well, it's free money that I got basically. And if I now put this into something and then it does a 10x, well, that's a great return, isn't it? So that's the way that I personally do it. Again, not financial advice, but that's for me where I think that's one of the safest strategies that I feel is safe as an individual. Is I've just earned this $300 from using this platform. They're giving it me as a thank you. There's this meme token, there's this NFT, there's this crypto project, there's this pre-sale. Okay, let me put $100 of that $300 that I got in. Let me take $100 of it out and leave $100 of it in the project. That's kind of the way that I do things.
That's good. But like, how do you is there tools that you look at? Like, how do you know that you're eligible? Like, will they send you an email if
Yeah,
you qualified?
most of the time it'll come up with a notification on your wallet. Most of the time, if it's not coming up with a notification on your wallet, then it will be when you log into the platform again. So when you log into the platform again, it will say airdrop available.
And I guess on their website, would they have on their website when like the expiry date for claiming and
Yeah,
so forth?
yeah, that'll be there, or on the Twitter, Discords, and Telegrams are the best places to get the information. Mainly Telegrams, because the Telegram communities tend to respond back faster. However, Discord communities I find tend to be more truthful. Even though the two can be not truthful, but Discord ones tend to be just a little bit more.
So have you've done it? Have you qualified for a lot of airdrops in your time? Like, I think, yeah, something I need to work on. I'm trying to get my first qualify for my first airdrop. I'm trying.
Yeah, when you get your first airdrop, you're like, wow, this is crazy.
Dubin,
Yeah.
you didn't get any when?
I don't.
No?
No. I only got a cap with something that I saw. No, I didn't get any when,
I think everybody got that when airdrop. I didn't know you didn't get that. I got 643,000 twice. And I think that was just for using Jupiter.
There you go.
Oh, I think I must have. I only got cap with Pat.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I must have missed that one. I think, yeah. But I will look at some other ones, yeah. The one that you mentioned as well, that one, was it, what's it again? Trend or something?
It was from Tensor.
Tensor, I said Tensor, yeah.
Yeah, I think Tensor is the most likely out of all platforms in the Web3 space to be doing an airdrop.
Are you interacting with Tensor? Or?
Yeah, I think Tensor and Backpack are probably the two. So Backpack have a wallet. Don't think they have a token yet, and they're a massive wallet and a massive exchange. So yeah, I think those are the two.
All right, interesting. I'll have a look. Thank you. Thanks for your
Note
answers.
that I
of
said
my
that
questions.
on this episode on whatever date this is. So yeah. Okay, cool. I'll take one last question. Mr. Mark Hargreaves, have you got a question? Let's just go to Tensor. This is Tensor. We've done previous episodes on this before, but yeah, we'll check that out. And then another one I would check out, which we're going to do a whole episode on, is Drip. So the Drip app, basically, you log into the Drip app, and they will actually send you NFTs for just having an account on Drip.
Yeah, guys, don't sleep on Drip. I have like, I don't know, I have over 200 NFTs from Drip.
Yeah,
One of them is take off.
Yeah, I to be fair, I've been slacking on Drip, but yeah, definitely we need to do an episode on it.
Yeah, you can log in every 6 hours and you get what they call driplets.
Yeah.
And then you subscribe to the artists, and then they send you stuff once you subscribe to them.
So you see me doing it in real time there. There you go. And you press X. So just every 6 hours, do that. As you just saw me do. And then you just subscribe to a channel. So being as you know I like games.
But Mike, like you're saying, how do you know the NFTs are real?
Again, it's trust, but in this case, if it's something you're doing for free, it's a bit different.
Mm.
Does that make sense? It's a bit different. So you're not exchanging money with Drip. You're just going in and pressing a button every 6 hours.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So it's a little bit, a lot different, I would say. So yeah, highly recommend checking out. Yeah, we are going to do a future episode on Drip. But from what I've just shown there, I think if you've just seen how easy that was, and now I'm subscribed to that channel, and then I'll get airdropped NFTs from that channel. There we go. Done those ones. See if I can do some more. Yeah, I can. Definitely think I've used up all my Showcase is a free channel operated by Drip that being subscribed to. There we go. There we go. Cool. So that's pretty much today's episode.
Duban, remember that Venom thing we did?
Yeah.
Check it in 5 days. Check your wallet.
Oh, my Phantom wallet, yeah?
No, the Venom. You're supposed to have a Venom wallet.
Oh, look at
In
Venom.
5
Okay, yeah,
days,
Venom.
they're going to send some tokens, they said.
Nice. Oh, was that the one that we had struggles with? Is that the one where we had to just go through the
Well, we did all those tasks. I think we did like 19 tasks. Yeah. I saw something on the Discord. There's a countdown, 5 days, 12 hours, and before token claim.
Nice.
But when I claim, I'm going to remind you. So don't worry yourself.
Thank you.
Big love. Community. That's what we love. That's what we love. Okay. Right, guys. Thank you very much. Over and out. See you later. Have a great weekend. See you on Technically Speaking on Sunday and game on Monday. See you in a bit, guys. Bye.
Peace.